Alright YouTube, I'm on West Aklaline Springs Road following this path from where I just ended the previous video. And I'm going to walk down a few of these streets and show you some of this right here. This is on West Aklaline Springs Road, and I don't know how many videos I'm going to make out of this particular one. I don't really care how long this runs, but this is Bright Avenue right here. I actually know the person that actually lives in that one. They're good friends with my family. But yeah, some of these are doubles and some of these are down the street are some rentals right here, but it's a very nice neighborhood. This right here is considered, that previous video was more of a southwest neighborhood. This is more definitely west. This neighborhood is north of Aklaline Springs, west of Helke, and south of Pool Avenue. And I'll be over on Pool Avenue here shortly here. And these houses are pretty similar to the one in the previous video. I want to say these are probably a little bit older than those. This neighborhood I think would have been probably built, I'm going to say the 60s, maybe 70s as well, but I think this neighborhood's a little bit older if I'm not mistaken. Nice houses we have here. And as I said in the previous video, I spent a lot of time here as a young adult, you know, and also as a youth, so I have quite a bit of familiarity with this neighborhood. It's a very safe neighborhood. You have a lot of doubles on this particular street right here, so you do have some rentals in this area. It's at the corner of Bright and Baybrook Court right here. Yeah, Baybrook Court, that's a cul-de-sac street right there. Gonna definitely get some good footage of this neighborhood, and I may possibly walk over close to Dixie as well. I really don't know yet. I'm just doing this on the fly. I don't really care one way or another. But we shall see what happens. Corner of Bright and Clearbrook Court right here. It's definitely a middle to upper class, you know, suburb in general. I'm going to probably be winding down the neighborhood videos probably in about a week or so, at least for a few weeks, because I'm going to be doing some fall color videos at some of the parks. The color is still pretty early in the season yet, but some of the trees are showing some color right here. Some of the trees that line the street. Excuse me there, YouTube. But yeah, this is one of the nicer suburbs in Vandalia in general. Definitely takes a little bit longer to walk the neighborhood, but that's fine. You guys get to see a little bit better footage. Now we're coming up on Buttercup Avenue. This actually leads through to the other side of Helke Road, which I haven't decided if I'm going to cover that today or not yet. I'm just waiting to see what happens. Yeah, this street at the corner of Bright and Buttercup. Buttercup leads all the way through to Helke Road. Right there. Yeah, here's some apartment buildings. Right here, this one looks like it has 4 units right here. And the average rental here, I'm gonna say, is around $600 or $700. These are not Section 8 rentals here as far as I know. Although there is some Section 8 stuff out in the suburbs, but typically the suburbs tend to resist that stuff a little bit more than the inner city does. I do see a for sale sign down here on one of these right here, a few houses down. It's an absolute beautiful day. The last few days it's been kind of gloomy and cloudy in general, but it's pretty nice outside today. Looks like UPS guys trying to deliver something to somebody waiting to see if they're home, obviously, but looks like he did find the person he was looking for. Apartment for rent right here on Bright Avenue. Looks like the 541 building right there. Probably a 2 or 3 bedroom unit. This was definitely a 60s or 70s neighborhood right here. And this is for sale right here, 532. I don't know if it's the whole thing is being sold or if it's just 1 or 2 units right here, but there's definitely 2 apartments right here, so possibly a rental income potential. This building on the other side, 525, it's got a for rent sign right here. It looks like on the 525 building, apartment number 1 for rent right there. 890-1760 for anybody that's interested. You have another rental, the building next to it, 517-684-1256 is the number to call for those that may or may not be interested in it. Alright, we're going to turn down Pool Avenue off of Bright and head west for a little bit. These are some apartments right here on Pool Avenue. You can see, you guys have already seen some apartments for rent right here. Yeah, these are some doubles as well. Well, one right here at least. 847 and 851 Pool Avenue. And looks like we got one that's for sale by Vic Green Realty right here across the street. I'll grab an address on that one here in a few. Yeah, this one right here is $850. It's a nice house. It's got some good shade, good trees. You can see that would be definitely comfortable in the summer. The silver maples right here, a lot of people used to plant these back in the 50s and in the 60s for shade trees, but nowadays some people don't really do that anymore because they've caused too many problems with the roots. Right here, this house that is for sale right here, it's 863 Pool Avenue right here. Big Green Realty for those that are interested. Depending on how long it's been on the market and how much work, you could probably get it for, I'm gonna say, you might could get it as cheap as $120 or $130, possibly. It's hard to say though. Some beautiful homes we have back in this neighborhood. I don't know if I'm gonna make this 1 or 2 part videos yet or not. It's just gonna depend on how much ground I cover on this one. Excuse me there, YouTube. Yeah, this is Randler Avenue right here. I'll go down that way in a few minutes, but I'm gonna somebody obviously supporting the human services levy. I'm not gonna really speak too much about that because, as you know, I'm not too fond of these levies, but 905 Pool Avenue, they support the human services levy. I just think in general you have to be very careful with what levies you support, especially when you're in especially this part of the country, because you do have a lot of older people here, a lot of baby boomers and a lot of retirees, and they just, although they live in very nice houses here in this area, they can't afford to pay more. And I really don't think they should be forced to pay for more either. Right here either. Looks like this is possibly some express mail right here. 926 Pool Avenue right here. Yeah, I just think we have to be very careful with these levies and what we support, because you really got to think, even though you might be able to pay more, but can your neighbor really pay more? So just consider your neighbor as well, you know, if you vote yes for these levies, because people just can't afford to pay more, you know. This one is for sale right there, 940 Pool Avenue. Keller Williams Realty, Kathy Grail. Yeah, I haven't seen many for sale signs back in general in this part of Vandalia. I'm assuming it's probably like that in general. I would say overall in general, I've only seen maybe 4 to 6 for sale signs during both videos that I've taken so far, but that is always subject to change, unfortunately. 962, that's a nice little house there too. Yeah, the average home in this area is going to be anywhere from 120 to 200,000, and average about 3 or 4 bedrooms. Most of these are one story houses. Right here, the bus actually does run back in this neighborhood, and the reason why is because of those apartments I showed you guys at the beginning of this video. So yeah, and the buses tend to service areas that have more apartments, and since people that rent obviously need the bus more than people that are homeowners. It's a nice size yard right there at 987 Pool Avenue. 986 right here. Yeah, this is Desales Court on the south side of Pool, and then on the other side it's Bosco Avenue right here. So I'm gonna go down Desales Court right here off of Pool Avenue. It's around 16 minutes into the video, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. It's a beautiful day for a walk. I'm really enjoying this walk in the neighborhood today. 510 Desales. Yeah, these are some nice houses, they really are. And here we got one for sale on Desales Court, or Desales Court or Drive, and it does not look like anybody lives in this one. Can't see an address on this. Oh, 516 Desales. So Roy Summers Realty right here. .602. Hey, how you doing today? Hey, you know how long that house has been for sale down there for?
Maybe a month or two at the most.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking you, I just film it for my YouTube channel. What was the last time you had your home appraised? What was it worth? Because the average house in this neighborhood, I would say, is anywhere from 120 to 200,000. What was the last when you had it appraised? The last time you had your home appraised in the area?
I don't remember. For one thing, and I'm not saying that
okay.
naturally, I had a stroke 2 years.
I understand.
And my brain bone went to hell.
That happens. That happens.
I'm good at this, but anything paperwork or remembering.
That happens. It happens to all of us. I mean, it could happen.
I remember what the hell we paid for. We bought this thing
Probably
a
the
long time ago.
probably the 70s or 80s, probably. 70s, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I had to say, my grandparents have lived in this area for about 50 years. They live on Stone Quarry. And for the most part, what I can see, I have not seen many for sale signs back here, so it looks like it's in pretty good shape. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. Yeah, and that's a good thing. Yeah, if I had to probably venture to say, I would say probably anywhere from 120 to probably 200,000 is probably what the average house back here is probably worth.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have any idea. I don't even know what the hell our taxes are.
Yeah, well, you probably just know that they're enough, and that's probably about it, you know. All right, you have a good day, sir. I hope you feel better. All right. Just speaking with a neighbor and a person that lives on the street, asking him about the home values here. He's not for sure because he's had some health problems, as you heard him say, with stroke, and he don't remember a lot. But you could probably say anywhere from 120 to 200,000. I don't think you could push 200,000. If the house has been fully redone, you know, the wiring, new kitchen, and new bathrooms, you might could push it above 200,000, but any more than that, you're gonna really be pushing it in general, and I don't think you're gonna get above that in price. Desales Street and Marcellus Drive. Excuse me there. Definitely a little windy outside. It's going to help the leaves, you know, fall from the trees, as obviously some of them have, you know, fallen. I'm going to probably get ready to end this one when I get onto Aklaline Springs. When I get onto Aklaline Springs, and I'll start to do one. I'm going to cover probably one more neighborhood up here, then I'm going to call it off on this one for the day, possibly. I'm just rolling. I'm just, you know, doing this on the fly. This is for sale right here, 714 Desales Court, right here. Guy that owns landscaping company, DC Lawn Keepers. Definitely not much, I think, as far as snow removal. Right now it would probably be more, or lawn kind of, it would be more or less just maintenance stuff right now, I think, in general. Yeah, these are some woods that go into Helke Park, which is one of Vandalia's biggest parks, if not Vandalia's biggest city park. I may swing by there and get a video of that in a little bit. I really don't know yet, but there's definitely no reason why people or kids cannot use recreational facilities in this neighborhood, because it's a pretty safe neighborhood. It's a pretty safe neighborhood right here. Yeah, for the most part, this neighborhood looks like it is in very good shape. Pushing 22 minutes long in the video, but I really don't care how long it runs, because I can always take it to the college and upload it, and it uploads like an automatic rifle from there, you know. Excuse me there. Definitely some leaves that have fallen on this tree. Definitely at least sugar maple right here. It's showing its colors. It's starting to, looks like it's getting some golden colors in it. Right here is a sugar maple. As I said, these people used to plant these a lot in the 50s, 60s, and 70s until they realized the problems they can cause with drain pipes. In general, nowadays there's a lot of cities that don't even allow you to even plant them because of the problems that they cause with the drains, especially clay drains and foundations of the houses. It's not uncommon to see an underground plumber or drain plumber doing work on a house, you know, because of these silver maples that unfortunately will wreak havoc with the trees. And the reason they wreak more havoc, because they're a fast growing tree that's water hungry. Actually, this right here is this is silver maple, and they tend to cause more havoc because they're a fast growing tree and they're water hungry. Turning on to Pius Circle off of Desales. This is a very short street right here. Then over by and over here by Aklaline Springs, then back onto Aklaline Springs, further from where I started the previous video at. But $919, pretty nice houses here. But I'm not surprised, because I know the neighborhood. I've I spent a lot of time in this area as a kid and as a young adult. There's three main areas I primarily lived in my life in the Dayton area. I've lived in the inner city of Dayton. I lived in Riverside for a long time, and I lived in Vandalia. So I have, you know, more familiarity with this area than I would any other suburb I would film, with the exception of Riverside right here. Yeah, I'm filming with the cell phone. This allows me to film up to 33 minutes and 24 and 25 seconds before it actually cuts out on me. So still got some juice to work with, but I think I'm gonna end this one soon. But I think I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of Helke Park, and then I'm gonna end this right here. Then I'm gonna cover this neighborhood. Then I'm gonna cover the other side of Aklaline Springs. You got a rental sign down here. Yeah, welcome to Helke Park right here. City of Vandalia Parks and Recreation right here. There's not really anything in the way of hiking trails here. It's mainly just, you know, tennis courts, basketball hoops, soccer fields right here. Somebody's obviously trying to rent this house. Obviously they probably tried to sell it before and probably just had no luck with it. So it's 3 bedrooms, 970 West Aklaline Springs Road. So this is probably, I'm gonna say it's gonna be probably an $800 or $900 rental right here. Yeah, for rent Remax Alliance right here, 970. But I'm going to do some of Helke Park, and if I don't get it all in, I'm just going to start a separate video for it. But I'm also going to try and get as much in of this as I can, so I don't have to start up a separate video for this. But here you could see the soccer fields right here, right here. You got some tennis courts here too, and some playground equipment right over there. Got some apartments over here. I may get a video of that too, I don't know. But I know I'm going to end this video here at the park because I got about 4 minutes left on this. Yeah, I used to come to this park all the time too when I was younger. I used to swing on these swings. I'm assuming they probably have been replaced some since then. And they have like rental equipment here for, like, you know, tennis, badminton, and that type of stuff. Here, the people that do that stuff are mainly high school kids, you know, mainly from like 3 to 9 or 3 to 9 o'clock, you know, during the summer or on the weekends. I would think, I'm not sure what their hours are on the weekend. Probably, I'm going to say probably 12 to 8 right here in general. Yeah, that neighborhood back there is one of the streets I filmed. Desales Court right there. Yeah, I'm just going to go in and let this one run out and let it run all the way till it expires. I really don't care. There's the swings right there. There's some playground equipment. Some some benches, a couple grills, a little wooded area that's behind there. Picnic shelter area right there. Tennis courts right over there. Horseshoe pit, horseshoe area right here. Some trees right here that goes back in the wood. Some of these trees they've obviously have cut down. I don't know if some of these were ash trees or if they were dead trees right here, but a discus court right here. This is the horseshoe pit right here to play horseshoes. Volleyball court right here. And right here, this I used to use this quite a bit when I was younger. This is a tennis area, so if you don't have a partner, if you just want to swing and just, you know, get some practice against the wall, hit the ball right here. I used to play with this. I used to come to this park and use this quite a bit when I was younger. And here right there is another shuffle thing right here. This is definitely not in as nice a shape as it once was, but depending on how many people that use this, they're probably not going to spend as much money. In general, there's only one or two people here at the park that I can see right here. It's another picnic shelter area. That building over there is Helke School, which is one of Vandalia's elementary schools. It's been around for a long time in general. Here's a view of the tennis courts right here. The tennis courts. And here, right here, is a baseball diamond. This, I believe, is used for like Little League and that type of stuff. The Helke School probably uses this gun because there's two diamonds, one on this side and then one right on the back side of the school, and they have some playground equipment. But anyway, the video's getting ready to end, so I'm just gonna let it continue to run for a few minutes till it runs out. But this right here is Randler. This right here's Randler right here, and I'm gonna get a little bit of footage of this, but anyway, YouTube, that's gonna be pretty much it for this one, as the video is getting ready to end. But beautiful day. I hope everybody's enjoying the fall weather. I'm gonna be out there soon getting some fall color videos.